quadratic needing simplification. Now we said whenever we work with quadratic equations, we want to set them equal to 0, which we do. I'm going to do it in a little bit different order than Alex. On Alex, they're going to move this whole thing over, and it gets to be really confusing what your sign should be. So instead of moving this first, I'm going to say square that first. If I take x minus 3 and square it, it is not x squared plus 9, because I have to FOIL it out. X minus 3 squared means x minus 3 times a second x minus 3. So write it down 2 times and FOIL it. X times x is x squared. I'm going to get a minus 3x and a second minus 3x. And then minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 9. So x squared minus 6x plus 9. So be careful on the squaring. Write it down twice, FOIL it out, because you do get that middle term. It's equal to 2x squared minus 10x plus 4. Now, after I FOILed that out, now I'm going to set it equal to 0. Keeping in mind, I always want my x squared term to stay positive. I don't want to subtract the 2x squared because it's bigger. I want to subtract the x squared. So I'm going to move everything over here. I'm going to subtract my x squared, add my 6x, and subtract my 9. So 2x squared minus 1x squared is x squared. Negative 10 plus 6 is a minus 4x. Positive 4 minus 9 is minus 5. Now it's equal to 0. So rewriting this, x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. I can now solve by factoring. Factoring that out, we have x and x. My signs, since the end is negative, I've got one of each, plus and a minus. Factors of 5 that give me 4 in the middle. Well, the only way to get 5 is 1 times 5. I want a minus 4, so my bigger number has to be negative. Negative 5x plus 1x is the minus 4x in the middle. You can always double check. The outside plus the inside add up to the middle. Negative 5x plus 1x is negative 4x. So either x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. And again, these ones don't have any coefficients, so all we need to do is move our numbers to the other side. Minus the 1 plus the 5. X equals negative 1 or 5. If we really wanted to take the time, we could put those numbers in for our x and solve it on this side, the number in for our x and solve it on that side, and see if we get the same numbers. We should. I'm not going to take the time to do that, since they're kind of long problems to do anyway. So, I'm going to move the board up so we can do number 5 and you can see what's going on. Number 5. Again, we're solving our equation. We see we have squared terms, which means we need to have it set equal to 0. But before we set it equal to 0, we're going to get rid of the parentheses by squaring that. So we're going to take w minus 4 times w minus 4. So, foiling that out. W squared, we're going to get a minus 4w and a second minus 4w. And negative 4 times negative 4, positive 16. So w squared minus 8w plus 16 is equal to 2w squared plus w plus 30. Again, when I solve that, I want my w squared term to stay positive. So I'm going to move the smaller one over. I'm going to subtract my w squared. I'm going to add my 8w. And I'm going to subtract my 16 then. So 2w squared minus w squared is w squared. 1w plus 8w is 9w. And 30 minus 16 is positive 14 to equal 0. W squared plus 9w plus 14 equals 0. I can now solve that by factoring it out. Factors of w squared, w and w. My signs, The end is a positive, both are the same as the middle, a plus and a plus. Or both of those are pluses, so both of these are pluses. Factors of 14 that add up to 9, 2 times 7. Right? 2 times 7 is 14, and 7w plus 2w is the 9w in the middle. So w plus 2 equals 0, or w plus 7 equals 0. Solving each of those, we're just going to move our numbers over. So we're going to minus our 2 and minus our 7. So negative 2 and negative 7 would be your two solutions. Kind of long problems. So be careful while you're working those out, because you make a little mistake, it's not going to come out right. The next one. Again, I'm solving my quadratic equation. I hopefully know I have to set it equal to 0, but before I do that, I'm going to square my v plus 6. So v plus 6 times the second v plus 6. V times v is v squared. My outside is 6v. My inside is 6v. 6 times 6 is 36. So v squared plus 12v plus 36 is equal to 2v squared plus 4v plus 48. Again, I want to set that equal to 0. I want my v squared term to stay positive, so I want to move these over here. I'm going to minus my v squared, I'm going to minus my 12v, and I'm going to minus my 36. 2v squared minus v squared is v squared. 4 minus 12 minus 8v in the middle. 48 minus 36, positive 12 on the end. I got room to factor. I'm going to keep writing down the page. You might want to rewrite it on the side, depending how big you wrote. Factors of v squared, v and v. My signs. The end is positive, so both are the same as the middle, negative and a negative. Factors of 12, going to give me the 8. 6 times 2, right? Negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. Negative 2v plus the negative 6v is the negative 8v in the middle. So, v minus 6 equals 0, or v minus 2 equals 0. And again, we're just going to move the number over and get the opposite sign. So this is a plus 6, this is a plus 2. So 6 and 2 would be your two values.